Hi, I'm Julia and I'm giving myself 6 months to manifest my dream life. Today, I'm going to be explaining the exact process I use in 4 super simple steps. So let's get straight into it. Step 1 is getting really clear on exactly what you want. And this will become more clear as to why this is so important as we go through the steps. But if you're not super clear on exactly what you want, then you can send out mixed signals to the universe and attract things that don't actually align with you. So for example, if you're trying to manifest a new job, then you could attract a new job, but you could be more unhappy in that job than you were in the last job. Or if you're just trying to manifest a new partner, then you could attract a new partner, but again, still not be happy in that relationship. And that would be because you didn't get clear enough on exactly how you wanted that thing or that person to make you feel. And you don't have to have everything figured out straight away. It can take a little bit of time sometimes to actually figure out what you really do want and what you want to manifest. But getting as clear as physically possible just helps the whole manifestation process to be so much smoother. And when I say get clear on what you want, I mean get clear on how that thing makes you feel, how you want it to show up in your life. Maybe if you're manifesting a new car, for example, you could manifest the exact type of car that you want. But being really clear on exactly what you want will make sure that you attract exactly what you want. And also just a little side note on that, if anyone is interested in finding out their human design chart, your human design actually tells you what type of manifestor you are. So I'm actually a non-specific manifestor, and what this means is that I manifest better when I'm just focusing on feelings and emotions and not the super specifics, whereas some people are better when they manifest the exact specific thing. And that might sound like I just contradicted what I just said, but non-specific manifestor doesn't mean that you don't get clear on exactly what you want, because again, the same thing stands. If you aren't clear, then you're going to attract something that's not clear. It just means that I personally manifest better when I leave the co-creation process up to the universe as well, because that's what manifestation is. It's a co-creation process between you and the universe, source, God, energy, whatever you want to call it. And I'm probably going to use all those words interchangeably. I said this in my first video, but everyone uses different words. To me, they all just mean the same thing. So for example, for me, if I wanted to manifest working with a brand, then that would be what I would manifest, as opposed to other people who would do better to manifest a specific brand that they wanted to work with. Okay, so step 2 is identify limiting beliefs, or just any beliefs that you hold around your manifestation. Manifesting is about what you believe to be true about the world. So whatever you believe to be true will manifest in your reality. And this has been proven in the placebo effect. The placebo effect is obviously where if people believe that a drug is going to work, then it works. And this is the same for manifestation. So for example, if you're trying to manifest money, then you need to get really clear on what your beliefs are around money. So if you believe that money is really hard to make, it's really hard to create, you have to work really hard for money, then that is what is going to be true in your reality. And your beliefs come from years of programming. Up until the age of 7, we are literally just a subconscious brain. And your subconscious is what holds all of your belief systems. It's not in your conscious brain, it's in your subconscious brain. And your subconscious finds evidence for the beliefs that it holds. So if you grew up not having much money, or struggling with money, then you are probably going to believe that it is more difficult to make money, because that is what you were programmed. And you will have continued this belief because throughout your entire life your subconscious will have been looking for evidence to prove that is true. So you could have so many limiting beliefs around attracting your manifestation, and you need to get really, really deep and clear with yourself on what those are. It usually takes me a journaling session, or sometimes can even just take time of these things coming up as I'm trying to manifest things. But being self-aware and trying to recognize those patterns and those beliefs that are keeping you stuck in the same belief patterns is what's going to help you overcome those beliefs. And you have to build these belief patterns up. I'm now at the point that I want to manifest changing my entire life. I couldn't have done that 5 years ago when I first was introduced to manifestation, because my belief patterns just wouldn't hold that kind of belief. But I've worked my way up. I've manifested small things. I've manifested jobs, opportunities, etc. I've said this before. And as time has gone on, my evidence base for manifestation has built, which means my belief system is stronger, which means I'm able to manifest bigger things. So if you can make a list of all the limiting beliefs that you hold around receiving your manifestation or just around your manifestation in general, then this will really help you with step 3. And step 3 is rewiring your subconscious brain. And this is how you create new belief systems. Like I said, all our belief systems are held in our subconscious brain. And up until recently, actually, it was believed that once our subconscious was wired, that we weren't able to rewire it. But within the past 50 years, we've actually discovered that it is possible to rewire the subconscious brain. And there are lots of ways to do this, but the two main ones that you can use in conjunction with other methods are 1, repetition, and 2, emotion. So repetition can be in the form of a lot of things. It can be in the form of affirmations, it can be in the form of subliminals, it can be in the form of learning, of listening to podcasts. Neurons that fire together wire together. So let's take learning a language, for example. If you're learning Spanish, which I actually am, and you're constantly learning new vocabulary, then you need to constantly use that vocabulary for it to become solidified information in your brain. Because when you're constantly using the language, then neurons are constantly firing together, which means that they create a new neural pathway. So then eventually, when I've used these words so many times, or I've consistently used this language, then it's wired into my brain, and that's how people become bilingual. So in the context of manifestation, once you've listed out all the limiting beliefs that you have, you want to then make another list of new beliefs that you need to create in order for it to be possible for you to manifest what you want. So using the money example again, if you had written down that you think it's really hard to make money, you have to work a 9 to 5 to have a stable income, and that's your current belief system, then the new belief system that you might want to create more wealth and attract more money is that money is really easy to make and you don't have to work hard for money and you attract money super easily. They might be the new belief patterns that you want to create. Number 2 is emotion. And when these two are used in conjunction with each other, so repetition and emotion, then it's much more powerful than just using one on their own. This is why visualization is super effective, because when you are creating the emotion of something in your body, you're feeling grateful, you're imagining having loads of money and it feels really good and you feel amazing and you're visualizing this, then your brain just takes that as the truth. And another thing about the subconscious is that it doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality. So if you're visualizing being super rich and feeling amazing about it, then your subconscious brain is just going to take this as the truth, take this as reality. And because you're creating the emotion of it, it starts to wire this scene that you're creating in your head almost as a memory, as a belief, as experience. And if you remember that I said the subconscious brain needs evidence to back up a belief. So if you're visualizing yourself after making loads of money and it was really easy to make that money, then that acts as evidence in your subconscious brain. Now, it can take a little bit of time to rewire your subconscious. Our subconscious wants to keep us safe, and safety is in what we know, right? So what you've known your entire life, you feel safe in, it's not out of your comfort zone, it's what you know. Whereas when you're trying to rewire it and trying to rewire a new belief, then your subconscious brain goes, whoa, hold on a minute, this feels scary, this isn't something that we know, I don't have any evidence for this. So the old belief systems continue to come up and you have to persevere through that, again through using repetition and emotion, and it can take between 22 and 66 days to rewire a new belief, which in the grand scheme of things actually isn't that much. But even after those 66 days are over, your old belief systems could still continue to come up, because I'm 25, so 25 years worth of evidence and belief system is always going to prevail over 66 days, right? So it is a consistency game, and building new belief patterns isn't easy, but it will change your entire life. And I actually just catch myself a lot of the time, either when I'm thinking old belief patterns or acting in a way that reinforces those beliefs, and I just go, hang on a minute, this isn't true, and I just tell myself that my new belief is true. And it's just about catching those old belief patterns and reinforcing those new ones. Okay, and so step 4 is acting and thinking as if. So thinking as if is pretty much just what I've explained, and when I say as if, I mean as if you've already received your manifestation. And this is super important because the way that you think, aka or slash your belief systems, creates emotions in your body, which is just energy and motion, and these emotions dictate your vibration. And your vibration is the system of what attracts things to you. So we're all made up of atoms, which is energy. So if we have a business and we're trying to manifest more clients, then we are thinking that, which is causing a vibration in our body. And this has been proven in studies that your thoughts create your vibration. And clients that you are trying to attract are also thinking, hey, I need to find someone to solve this problem for me. And those thoughts are causing a vibration. And because your vibrations are aligned, that's how manifestation works and how you attract those things to you. So when you create a vibration of your manifestation already being done, then you essentially collapse the time that it takes for you to become that person. And this is how you manifest faster, because you could just live out that time that it takes to become the person that gets your manifestation. And that is a fine journey too. You know, I've manifested things through that process of literally just becoming the person that I need to be in order to manifest. But when you act as if you already have received your manifestation, then you're already on a vibration of having received it and having lived it. So you naturally just attract what you want faster than you would if you were just living life normally. And this is how I know that it's possible to manifest my dream life in 6 months, because I am acting as if I have already received it. You know, I'm manifesting a business. I am treating every single day as if that business is already making me money. I left my full-time job to make my business work, you know, and I could have stayed in my job and manifested the business doing well and doing it in my spare time. But, you know, I wouldn't be that person that is already living that experience of my business being successful, because I would be working a 9-to-5 job. Whereas this is the life that I'm going to live whether or not I'm making money, because this is what I love to do and this is what I want to do. So for me, it's about being grateful that I get to do this, that I'm able to leave my job and I'm in a position where I can leave my job and just put all my time and energy into doing something that I love and acting as if it's already done. And again, thinking as if the person that is already successful, you know, I'm rewiring my brain to expect these things to come to me, you know, expect my business to do well and expect to see growth and expect to see more wealth. And those things have been coming because I've wired my brain to look for the evidence of that being true. And I'm acting and thinking in a way that's causing a vibration that's attracting that to me. And these 4 super easy steps are honestly going to help you to attract anything and everything that you want. And there's so much science that backs these steps. You are manifesting at all times. You know, we're always thinking, we're always vibrating. So you might as well create a reality that you are in love with and manifest things that you could never have even dreamed possible. That is what I'm going to do over the next 6 months. Show you what's possible, teach you along the way. So if you felt like you learned something from this video or you just enjoyed listening to me talk about manifestation, then please hit the subscribe button. It would mean a lot to me. I have so much more that I could talk about. I've loved sitting down here today and just talking through the process of manifestation. To anyone that's got this far, I appreciate you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. And I will see you in 2 weeks' time.